Welcome back to Nee&FeeBrotherhood. This is season 1, episode 8 already, and we're happy to bring it to you. Remember, if you like what you see, subscribe, thumbs up, comment, whatever, questions.
Absolutely.
How you feeling today?
Just the spring allergies kicking my ass.
Yeah.
Seasonal.
I was just saying, I was just saying I look stoned. I'm looking at it now, but my eyes are shot. Sorry for the attire. I just came from work and I was working outside all day.
It's tough out here for a pimp.
Yeah. Pimp hand.
Pimping.
All right, so today we're going to get into this whole couple of things. The first thing is the Ed Sheeran, Marvin Gaye camp lawsuit.
Doing some music tonight.
Yeah. So we just got finished listening to somebody who synced up the two songs, Let's Get It On, and what's Ed Sheeran's song?
Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud.
Thinking Out Loud. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows Let's Get It On.
Yep, absolutely.
If you ever been in a car with a girl, you know it.
Bing, chicka, bow, bow.
Wow. So we just listened to it. This guy online mixed the two songs together, verse and then verse and vice versa.
Yep.
That's a lot of verses.
Into choruses.
Yeah. So I heard it right away. Pretty much the chord progression is the same. The chorus is different, but the verses sound pretty much identical.
Yep. Same exact chord by one major, one minor. That's the only difference.
Right, yeah. There's one chord that's different, but it's really close. My feeling on this is this. Everybody is influenced by somebody.
Absolutely.
Marvin Gaye came before Ed Sheeran.
Yes.
I've written some stuff where it sounds like a band that I like.
Yep. Natural influence.
Yeah. And as far as the chord progression, there's only so many.
Yep.
You know, he did change up that one little chord, but there's only so many. So yeah, I don't know. That's a weird thing.
I think there are two dynamics. We discussed one earlier. I think it became a white pop singer into going through a catalog of black artists and reaping the benefits, so to speak. I don't know how much that people really played that in the public. For some reason, Ed Sheeran does not get a lot of respect. I think in R&B circles.
It's his red hair.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's simply red, and even he's pissed at him. That guy.
So's Carrot Top.
So Carrot Top's like, F this guy.
So's Bill Walton.
Bill Walton.
He's mad at
Bye,
Sheeran.
Bye, Bill Walton.
Holy fuck.
But I think it's just that racial dynamic is there.
Yeah.
It's not really an overtone. But I think it also, because Blurry, if everybody remembers, Robin, which is
Robin Thicke, yeah.
did Blurry, and then if you go to Marvin Gaye's, I believe it's called Got to Give It Up. All he did is erase Got to Give It Up vocals and put Robin Thicke. It was an easy victory. I believe the settlement was tens of millions of dollars. It was a huge payday for the family. In general, the music business works. I think this is kind of weird, but you have a hit song in your life. You pass away. Artists, royalties go to your immediate family. So that would be your children or your spouse or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's 70 plus years. So what you're seeing now, you see Elton John did it. A bunch of artists have gone to meet their copyrighted material. They've sold it out to music houses. Not even music houses, just sold it out to investors that control it. Bruce Springsteen did it for, I think, $250 million. And you're thinking, oh my God, why wouldn't you want that? Well, it's money right there.
Yeah.
I think he has 5 or 6 kids. Elton John goes to the Elton John estate, which is run by much younger people. And whatever he supports, whatever he champions, that's money for there. There's other artists, I believe Stevie Nicks just did it, to the tune of like 80 million.
Jeez.
I didn't think she had that many hits. So
Yeah, she does though.
I can only think of Stand Back. That's it. And if nobody really knows this, Stand Back is a kind of like a Prince thing.
Yeah.
And then they met each other, and Prince was like, I want to play on this. And she goes, when It's only a Little Red Corvette, but it's one of the earlier Prince songs. She loved it, and that song is literally donated, and she gave the royalties, or cut Prince into the royalties to stand back. But that's the only song I can think of, but obviously there's...
Because he needed it. He was down on his luck.
He was so down on his purple luck. So,
that's funny.
He wasn't coming up. So yeah, it's big business. I understand why you would sell your catalog for single artists or solo artists. I don't know if group artists are really going to do that. I don't know. I can't think of one. I'm sure there are, but I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head.
The Beatles didn't sell their catalog. Didn't Michael Jackson Music. Just buy it?
Michael Jackson bought it. That was a business deal. Paul, I'm going to buy all your music, Paul.
That's your Michael Jackson impression?
Oh, when he was like really low in the bed. I can't get that high. Too many screaming at bar people.
Did you ever hear audio of him like talking normal,
yes,
Michael Jackson?
Yes,
and he has a voice like this.
There's the one. I hope you see it one day. I just hope you do it. But he does almost like the feminine, Michael, stereotypical voice. But it's girls have made it over to the limo. They're knocking the beat on. And a girl lifts up her shirt, and he just goes titties, titties. I was like, it was so puppyish. It was like somebody put a puppy in. Oh, puppies. It's like Mike, Tito, titties. You were born from the Titos. I couldn't believe what I was hearing or seeing. Yeah. But he was very,
Oh, that's a video it was a guy, also? It's a
video of him in the limo. And they blur out the girl, but I was like, wow, this is as close to the most masculine part I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's poor Mike. But Mike's catalog then had to be sold again for his defense in the child thing.
Right.
So, the owner of the Beatles, I really don't know.
Yeah. And who is it now?
I think it's a publishing house. And Paul definitely wants it, but I don't think it's for sale.
Yeah. Yeah. Why would you sell it back?
I think
how much can Paul? How much would he pay for it?
He's a billionaire, so would he pay $500 million? Would you invest that much into it? All those kids are grown though. All those kids are doing really well. Yeah. Yeah. Stella McCartney.
Unless
she won't be in the poorhouse anytime soon.
No. Unless he buys it and then spreads it out to all their kids, like George Harrison's kid, Ringo's kid.
I thought you meant the little one. No one talks
like
about.
all of them.
Oh, because they are their songs. They're not just
the Lennon kids.
I know Yoko Ono refused to change anything that went Lennon-McCartney to McCartney-Lennon, even though Paul wrote the song. Yeah. And she just refuses to do it.
Yeah, but that's a thing that rolls off the tongue. Lennon-McCartney.
Lennon-McCartney. I think it's an ego thing, and I think it's also the truth. If it was, Melfi Gray or Gray Melfi, like I would think your ego would say, I wrote the song, you wrote whatever. I'm the lead on the song, but I don't know if that's a business decision that can't be changed, or she's the only one who could change it. I think, and you think over the history of the, she broke up the band thing over the years. I think that's worn down to the bone, and she's a kind of like a defense of, she defends John to the day. So how about giving some of that money to Sean?
Yeah.
So I look at it that way. That was his dad.
Yeah. And, how about this? How about Paul and Ringo get together with Julian Lennon and George Harrison's kid, because they both look exactly like their parents, and they sound. Julian Lennon sounds just like John.
Let me take that back. I didn't mean to say Sean. I meant to say his first kid.
Julian. Yeah,
Julian.
No, I know.
How about give Julian?
Who got shafted?
Who got the shaft? Who looks exactly like his father.
And sounds exactly like him.
Sean looks like his dad, but not like Julian looks like his dad.
No, but Sean, I heard him sing not too long ago online, and he sounds like John. Is it better than Yoko?
Yeah. Screech and yell.
Let me think. The video that's popular now on TikTok is the one where Chuck Berry and John Lennon are on stage, and Yoko. So
she's doing her thing, right?
They give her like a tambourine or a little bongo with a microphone by the drum, and she's pissed. and she picks up the microphone in the middle of Johnny Be Good.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Gah, gah, gah." And the look on Chuck Berry's face is priceless.
Oh my God.
If you haven't seen this, you got to search for it.
Please. Of course, they only do this when the artist dies. When Chuck Berry died, they brought up, obviously, the iconic guitar stuff, all the good stuff. Then the bad stuff comes out. The audio, no video, the audio of Chuck urinating in a girl's face.
What?
I promise you, on my life. Don't turn away, baby. Don't turn away.
No.
I promise you.
Oh,
I challenge anybody. It's out there. You can find it. Became a big thing. It's in his book about it.
It's audio only.
It's audio only. And then the other one is the description's disturbing. So let's keep it somewhat clean. But how do you clean this up? Do the Jim Carrey, pull your cheeks apart and ripping, ass
in her face?
In her face. And
That's,
she just has to take it. It's a prostitute, I believe. It's a prostitute.
That's like German porn.
That's so Chuck.
Drinking the pissing, eating the pooping.
Eating pooping. Do you want the pooping? You like the pooping.
You were eating the pooping.
Oh, drink it down, deep. Broken the Kogan.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's terrible. Why would he do that?
I don't know, but I'm going to search as soon as I get home.
Why would he put that on tape? You got away with it all these decades, and it comes
Is that
back.
illegal though?
I don't know
I don't think it's illegal.
if you pay for human services, and it's a contract that's gone or exchanged with legal tender. I believe you can do anything.
So it wasn't his girlfriend at the time.
No.
All right, what if it was
Mrs. Berry?
What if it was Mrs. Berry?
Mrs. Berry needs to clean house. She needs to burn some of those Cadillacs. Take that ES 335 and crack it over his head when he's sleeping. I would think. I don't know. Maybe. But what if Mrs. Berry liked it?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So why have audio of that? Why don't you just do it every weekend?
Well, why do people video themselves having intercourse?
Very true. Pam and Tommy.
Yeah, same thing.
Pam
and Tommy, Pam and Brett, Pam and Vince
everybody.
and whoever.
Yeah, Pam, Brett, and who was the?
I think Pam and Eddie Melfi.
That one's not on tape.
It's not out yet, no.
But Pam and Janie Lane.
Oh.
Pam and Janie.
Janie.
Yeah, so she went with all the kind of like the bonds. Joey!
Hey, what's up?
What's up? We have so many Pams and
Hey, Joe. Did you ever sleep with Pam Anderson?
Is there a video?
No.
Unfortunately,
No Pam and Joe.
Unfortunately, my dream.
I hung out with those guys, Janie Lane and those
So you
guys
met
one
him?
night.
Because I know a bunch of people that met him before.
Very cool.
And said one of the nicest, like just rock, even if he wasn't the rock star at the time, just one of the nicest musicians that were, obviously they were going to make it.
All of them, though.
Oh, I just know people named Janie.
The drummer is, I want to say, Danbury or Waterbury guy.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We saw them open up for Motley Crue.
Oh, okay.
Which will bring us into our next story.
Absolutely.
For Motley Crue at the New Haven the Hartford Civic Center.
Okay.
So Warrant announces on stage, hey, after the show, we're going to be across the street at the Russian Lady. Everybody
That's a rock bar then, I guess.
It was a bar, just a bar.
Okay.
Everybody come over. So I was with all the guys in the band. I'm like, we're going across the street.
Here we come, Ruskies.
First of all, they kicked Motley Crue's ass. This is Girls, Girls, Girls tour.
Wow, they were that good?
Yeah, they kicked their ass.
Wow.
So we go across the street, and there was the second floor stairwell with bouncers.
Yep.
So we were with a bunch of, I'll say Guidos.
That's fair.
Yeah, they tried to go upstairs. They wouldn't let him go upstairs. So we come with the long hair and the thing, and they let us upstairs. So the road crew was up there before the band got there, and they were crazy. They were throwing glasses and bottles across the bar. They rented out the whole second floor.
Oh, so whatever it is, it's their responsibility.
Yeah.
Got it.
Then the band came in, and we were talking, and they said they were going to film the video for, Yeah, it's one of the slower songs.
Sometimes She Cries?
Maybe. No, not Heaven.
Not Heaven.
No. This was I think after that.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
And-
they're actually very big band.
Yeah.
Because that's all over MTV.
Yeah. And the video was being shot at I believe the drummers in his city or at the family's barn ranch or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were very cool people.
What did you think of, not to get morbid, of his death, but did you think it was typical rock star stuff, or there's some deep stuff going on?
No, I think it was a little deeper
Deep stuff.
because I don't know. Was that based off of drugs though?
From what I had understood, my apologies on my English teacher just rolled over.
Mrs. Haberdash.
Mrs. Haberdash. Cherry Pie is the death of Janie Lane,
Yes.
from what I understood.
Yeah.
So, if I'm wrong on the story, then please forgive me. But he's playing acoustic guitar and he's going through the basic 3 chords progression, and they're looking for another song, and they're like, "That's a hit right there." And he's like, "No, I'm just fooling around." They threw it together kind of quickly. It was done just so quickly, and he never had a chance to really write what he wanted to. It was kind of just bullshit. And you guys are now going to be stars, I guarantee it. And it came out, and it did. It was typical record company. We're going to manufacture this thing, and then throw in I guess, to this generation, you'd probably say one of the worst videos, maybe, or one of the most what you would say about hair metal in a negative way. You would put that video on and say, "This is what hair metal is," and he had to live with that after. 1991, Nirvana, Soundgarden, everybody, Seattle comes on, trashes hair metal, it becomes nothing. Bastards. And it was the way of the world, and you guys are no longer the hot girl in town.
Yeah. I've seen interviews with him about that, and he says that Uncle Tom's Cabin was supposed to be
The lead single, right?
the name of the album and the single.
Got you.
And Donnie Ienner.
Heavy song.
Yeah, excellent song.
Yep.
And Donnie Ienner put the kibosh on that.
For first
is-
single? Oh, for the
album.
for
The single, the name of the album. He
the
put
album's Cherry Pie, right?
No,
No?
that's not the name of the album.
Oh, okay. Something silly, though, right?
Damn. What's the first one? Rotten.
Dirty, filthy,
Dirty,
rough,
yeah.
and stinking rich.
The second one is. Fuck.
It's along that theme, though, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I love that band. I just can't think of it. So Donnie Ienner said, "No, we need another song, something like Down Boys, like an anthem kind of thing."
Yep.
And Janie Lane said, as a joke, because he wanted to piss off Donnie Ienner, he wrote Cherry Pie.
Gotcha.
And then he
Never thinking it was gonna.
Never. He says, since then, I'm Cherry Pie guy.
I'm Cherry Pie.
I gotta go be a judge in cherry pie eating contest. Yeah. And he
hated
hated it.
Bro.
He hated it.
Now the money's dried up. Now you actually have to do shit like that.
Yeah.
And girls were clamoring for you.
Yeah, but
now
it really
you're a Cherry Pie guy.
Yeah, it really affected him though.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Absolutely.
But he had such a strong voice, and those guys were great live. Good show.
Uncle Tom's Cabin. If you don't know, just go to the
great song.
Go to the song on any YouTube or wherever music service. And it's a heavy guitar riff. It's the boys actually played really good because in the guitar community, the 2 guitarists would always get crapped on, and the rumor is that literally the Cherry Pie guitar solo, CeCe DeVille from Poison.
Yes, I heard that.
I don't know if that's factual or not, but that's the rumor. So you're going into your second album, everything's going on, and everybody goes, "Oh, you're the Milli Vanilli of metal now, or hair metal." So they went through a lot, but Cherry Pie is, man, to have the whole world kind of like laughing at you you need some broad shoulders for that.
I think the name of the album was Cherry Pie.
Was it Cherry Pie?
Yeah. There's a song on the next album, Dog Eat Dog. It's called.
That's the third album.
The third album.
That's supposed to be the heaviest album.
Inside Out. I believe it's the last song.
Mm-hmm.
This song is so heavy, and he's like screaming like to save his life through the whole song.
Does his voice sound good?
Yeah, it's very strong.
Everybody thinks his voice is a pop circumstance.
No.
He can scream.
You see him live. He does all the parts you hear on the CD. He does.
Okay.
He's running around. The only other guy I think I've seen that does that is Steven Tyler of Aerosmith.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I went to see them with Skid Row, and he's doing somersaults and backflips and jumping jacks, and he's hitting all the notes, all the fills. So,
wow.
All right, so let's get into the other thing. One of my favorite bands, Motley Crue. This lawsuit between the band and Mick Mars.
3 versus 1.
Yeah. I was just telling Roddy before, that just shows you how there's friendship and then there's business.
There's business, yeah.
Because they like all tattooed his face on their body, and now they're suing him.
They're suing the crap out of him.
Mick's going to be dead in like 3 days.
The lawyers for Motley actually came up with something brilliant, I thought, in the legal thing, so that the people that are supporting Mick legally and whatever, and they're saying he's out of his mind. They're saying he's not there. They're calling it elder abuse.
Ooh,
and they're saying that this isn't even Mick. Mick would never do this. And Carmine Appice, is that it? So Carmine
the drummer,
Appice,
him and his brother,
has a cease and desist order against him for sticking up for Mick from Nikki and obviously the legal people.
Oh, yeah?
And he's basically saying what pieces of shit they are. The only one live in the band was Mick. Because they said Mick messed up guitar parts routinely in this last tour with Def Leppard. And, you know, I've heard, let's say, I'm sorry, not heard, I've seen the Tommy Lee fiddling around
while the drums are playing like a track.
It's like boom, 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 bam, and he's like over here looking for skits.
I think, didn't Johnny 5 just come out and say that everything is not sampled, but everything's on a track?
It's on a track, yeah. It's on a digital.
I mean,
and there's a lot of it. There's a thing with Eddie Trunk. I don't know. I'm not here to promote Eddie Trunk, but he's a big supporter of metal on Sirius.
Yeah.
And Eddie is just relentless on bands that you don't play live. We're scheduled to play live in the next track. And there's another band where they definitely Milli Vanilli. They were on stage, but they lost or whatever. Didn't arrive at the show, whatever they used, so they canceled the show. And he was like, it's a band I have never heard of until this kind of thing was promoted.
The band showed up to the show, but the tracks didn't make it?
Didn't make it, that they would play.
God forbid you play at a show.
And they canceled the show. And
wow.
He ripped them. So that guy is very Pro Tools. Even though it's not Pro Tools, they're just backing tracks. And it's canned, you know. It's a comedy show with canned laughter. Yeah, and that's what this is. So I've heard Mick make mistakes on shows I've seen.
Yeah,
Motley Crue.
That's live.
That's
live. That's what
it's
happens.
Supposed to be. The accusation is that Nikki doesn't play. That's where Carmine Appice comes in, and that Nikki doesn't play live. Tommy doesn't play live, and Vince is Vince. I mean, that is. When he's drunk and he plays, you've seen the Girls where they make it a fun of him. Yeah. Girls, hey. It's one song or the other.
Yeah. I was offered tickets to go see this the concert with Joan Jett and Def Leppard and Poison and
City Field?
I don't remember where it was. And he was like, no. I've seen Motley Crue in their heyday. And
what about the other band?
I've seen Poison. I've seen Def Leppard. Joan Jett I would have liked to go see, but I would have left.
I heard she kicked ass.
Of course, she kicks ass and she plays. And she sings.
Now, not to get off stage.
Yeah.
What do you think of Do You Want to Touch by Joan Jett? And do you know who wrote it in this controversy? And her continuing to play it. Which is not a big hit, but it's a catchy tune.
Well, it's one of her...
It's not. It's one of her big.
Well, her big ones, yeah.
But it's not like I Love Rock and Roll. It's not that.
No.
But it's a catchy tune.
Yeah.
Do you wanna touch? You know it.
Yeah, I know the song.
Do you know Gary Glitter then? Because it's got.
Yeah.
So Gary Glitter definitely did. Do you want to touch pedophilia? And you know he tied it all together, and then groups come to and say, "Why are you playing this?"
Yeah.
You know who this is attached to. I go. There's two sides. You're absolutely right. That's tied to the original artist and what he did. And nobody in this generation knew that until you started mentioning, you know. Yeah. So what harm did it do? The controversy is like that. Do you think Joan Jett is a pedophile now? Like, I mean, it really kind of pissed me off. But do you really need the negative attention for a song? So, like, what's your opinion if you're in a band, your cover is tied to an artist that has done something bad. Yeah. But it's a good tune. You have nothing to do with it. What's your take on it? As far as playing it live,
we would absolutely play it.
Absolutely.
If the song kicks ass,
it's a kick-ass song.
I don't care if Dr. Seuss wrote it. it kicks ass. People like it. We're gonna play it.
And
Plain and simple.
people rock out to it because they
Yeah.
have no idea
Yeah.
who Glare Glitter really is. And I think if you're in the sports world, college sports world, if you remember,
Hey.
that's
Yeah.
Gary Glitter. That's his biggest hit. But unfortunately, this song is tied to him as well, and the things he went through, I believe, in England. So
Yeah. Seems like everybody in power is a
has done
pedophile
some
now.
really fucked up shit involving kids.
Yeah.
Leave the kids alone.
Leave them alone.
Please.
Let them grow up.
Let them grow
normal.
up. Let them be asshole adults just like you. You know? Who needs the burden? So the question was, does Mick have any place to stand? Well, I don't know, but you know, I can only you had, I think, a better run in rock and roll than I ever did. So let's put you guys in there. What was your opinion on a song you wrote? You put everything into it. At the age that you were at the time when the band was really going, did you know about ASCAP? Did you know about you know how the arrangement of songs goes? Did you know the business side and how important that is? Not as probably a kid at Rocky, you probably just want to go out and play,
Yeah.
and get paid.
I
and
was
else
very
comes with it.
young, but we knew about you had to copyright it.
Yep.
Because if you didn't,
Oh, you're
and
ass
somebody
out.
hears it
You're
and they
ass out.
take it, you can't do anything about it.
There's nothing.
As far as writing,
Credits.
yeah, at the time,
You wrote the song.
I didn't
None
write-
of the guys did. I'm
Yeah.
saying in that answer, and that song becomes a hit. Do you cut the other? What is it? A 5-man band or 4-man?
it was 5 at the time.
Cut the other 4 guys in, or do you want to be? Hey, this is a Melfi production.
All right. At the time,
At the time,
no, it's one for all for one. Everybody's getting cut in at the time.
Right.
Now, I mean, if I'm collaborating with somebody or not hired musicians,
yeah, it's a band.
it's a band. So we should all get credit. If you're hiring musicians just to play in the studio, but you wrote the song, different
No,
story.
you pay them.
They're getting
Yeah,
paid
you're
as
paid for the
contractors.
moment. Yep.
But back then, it was everybody. I would include everybody.
Do you think that would cause a problem down the road when now it's a successful band? Hey, this guy just shows up and he does whatever. I'm putting together potential hits, potential whatever. Because I believe that's what really breaks up bands when they see the one guy I met from Skid Row, the drummer. I can't remember his name. And I had maybe a 5 to 10 minute conversation, so it's not like he was in a row or something. And they were opening up for Bon Jovi. They were in a bar I was working in, and I just talked to him. Nobody knew who he was. I talked to him. I go, well, I was talking about I Remember You, and how do you go? He goes, that has nothing to do with me. That's all Snake Sabo. And if you look at the credits, it's Snake and nobody else. And that's their biggest hit. He doesn't have to share that money. The majority of that hit money goes to him. Now, do they get paid on playing on the album? Of course.
Yeah.
But I Remember You money goes to Snake,
Uh-huh.
and that's it.
Uh,
And I think that causes it. Now he's throwing Sebastian back and his ego, which he can sing and he's a good-looking guy, blah blah blah, the hair and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's my voice. You may have had the song, but my voice makes it, and that's the whole yin and yang of the industry.
Yeah.
Well, bands, anyways.
Yeah. It's the business end of
business is a
music. It
monster,
sucks.
man.
It just sucks.
Definitely turns friends into enemies. And it
Yeah.
looks like that's what's happened with Mick and the rest of the guys.
Yeah. I know when I was in the band back in the 80s, the way you got kicked out of my band is you didn't want to practice every night.
Yeah.
And then, hey, we're going up, we're going into the city to see a band. Oh, I can't go. I have to work tomorrow. Then all the talking on the way to New York. Fuck this guy, man.
I don't know if this is going to work out.
Yeah.
But you can really play.
Nah, we can find somebody.
We can find it. Diamond
Fuck,
does. Diamond does.
Fuck, man.
What do you think of just the general state of pop music and music today? Do you even listen to what's on the radio, or have you completely turned into an older guy and my generation of music is all that mattered?
Well, what it's like, what we're saying, playing live. Like, do you remember like watching award shows when award shows kind of meant something? the bands would be on. First of all, on award shows, everybody dressed up.
Yeah.
Like I remember Warrant was on an award show.
They tuxed up?
No, they wore all leather,
Okay.
but they all matched and they were dressed up.
Right.
They didn't have like, ripped jeans,
Gotcha.
baggy, or like baseball hat.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Nobody really dresses up, and nobody plays live. I don't care what you say, who they are. Nobody's doing it live.
They all have not the 7 seconds. Guns N' Roses doubled 14 seconds because of Slash and Duff.
Yeah.
Coming on the
Yeah.
Grammys.
That's why I like watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because that's all live.
Absolutely.
And
how great to see such, older guys playing such, just out there doing things.
Yeah. I mean, look at Metallica, man.
Yeah.
Their new album is heavy.
Heavy.
And they're like 63 and 4/10 year old.
Yep, and pushing it,
Yeah.
Pushing the envelope musically.
Yeah.
It's kind of unheard of.
You think Iron Maiden's still out there?
I think so.
How
How do you sing that stuff as 60 plus too? Like,
yeah, I don't know how he does that.
Is he doing, tapes?
I
don't think so.
I'd be surprised because I don't know. I would just be surprised if that was the case. I don't think so.
And another thing is, this is musical taste, possessing your music, so heavier music. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we just mentioned, bringing in hip hop acts, bringing in Dolly Parton last year. Does that bother you?
No, not at all. If you're just, I don't care what genre of music you were in or are in, whatever. If you pumped out hits and you were putting on great shows, I think you deserve to be there.
Right.
That's what I think.
I'm glad she showed up. Her original statement was, "I'm a country artist defending country. Like this is my life. This is my career. What are you talking about, rock and roll?" But I'm glad she showed up because it made a big impression on a lot of rockers. You know? And I never really listened to the song Jolene, so I don't know if you know it, but
I know it.
I knew it because Miley Cyrus did it. But then Miley Cyrus or somebody else in more of the hard rock community, a female artist did it, and I was like, that's a good song. So it travels, all these decades down, influencing people to be better.
And that's someone who belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Country song or not,
Yeah.
I think rock and roll encompasses everything, maybe except jazz and classical.
Yeah. I think that's fair not to put them in rock and roll.
Yeah.
There. And they're also, they're not elitist, but I think the audience is, and I think to the degree is like, I've learned this craft that's considered to be very difficult.
Yeah.
And I make no money.
Right.
I don't get any ASCAP to worry about.
Right.
Nobody's beating down my door for,
Right.
To redo my song so I can take them to court.
You ever see the Sting movie, the documentary about when he first went on his own?
No.
You never saw this?
Is this with the first album he did?
Yeah, on his
Englishman in
own.
New York and everything?
Yeah. So his band was all jazz musicians. Branford Marsalis and a bunch of famous jazz musicians.
Absolutely.
So they're practicing in this castle in like England or something, whatever. So, he's unsure because he doesn't know people are going to like his stuff.
Right.
He's never played solo before.
And he's writing everything.
It's all him.
Yeah.
So they ask him, the musicians, like, "You nervous?" He was like, "Oh my God, I'm so nervous." He goes, "How about you guys?" And they said, "We're used to people not liking what we play. So no, we're not nervous at all."
We're going out there like they hate me already.
Yeah. And
meanwhile, I think Branford stole the show. Those tours,
yeah.
pretty much went out there and started soloing.
He's insane.
And people like
He's
jaw
insane.
dropping.
Yeah. And great songs. They ended up being great songs
Absolutely,
too.
yeah.
I remember playing. We played original music back in the day. Playing on like a Wednesday night in Manhattan somewhere to people who don't give a shit about you.
Leave and watch.
They'll watch. And there's not a lot of people because before you build up a following, but you still have to act like you're at Madison Square Garden.
Absolutely.
Because you never know who's out there.
The one person.
We played a bar mitzvah one time
In the
at
city?
the Rock and Roll Cafe, I think it was.
Oh, man.
Yeah. A bar mitzvah. And we got approached by record industry, record
Come
people.
on, wow.
Yeah, at a bar mitzvah.
How far did it go? Was it any serious?
They were serious.
Did they have any power that you ever made to find out?
Yeah, they did. And one of the guys in the band said something wrong.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me you said something like Jewish.
No. No. It was something like, well, we don't sign anything unless, that shit.
Oh,
It was something like that.
do not speak for us, please.
Yeah, just chill.
Oh, out, chill.
And, but at a bar mitzvah.
At the very most you say, well, we need to get a lawyer.
Yeah.
If
let's get together
Let's
and
get
talk.
together, yeah.
But yeah, it was at a bar mitzvah.
I actually like the story of Steelheart, which, we personally know members in the band. And it was somebody, an A&R guy's kid, was fumbling around with tapes and everything. Said, Dad, you should listen to this. And he kind of blew it off. And his kid was real, persistent. He goes, Dad, listen. Got him to listen to it. And that turned in literally like months later, and then they get signed because some kid, that's father had all the power, got him signed.
Yeah, I saw the interview with Mike.
Yeah.
Or what's his real name? Milienko?
Milanovic?
Milenko? I don't know. We always called him Mike. That's what he went by back then.
That's all I can pronounce.
Yeah.
It was, what was I going to say? Was he a true, what do they call it, operatic? He could hit 4 C's?
Yeah.
Starting from low C to...
He's insane.
Like, that's operatic, right? Like, that's opera level?
It's fucking
5 C's?
kick ass. That's what I call it.
Yeah, that's...
No, he's just got God-given ability. That's all it is. Yeah, he's insane.
That's just insane to be able to sing like that.
Yeah, if you never see this guy, definitely check him out. Steelheart is the name of his band.
And then before that, even when they were unheard of under Red Alert.
Red Alert, yeah.
There's videos of them Red Alert playing. And
they play all this Zeppelin. He nails Zeppelin perfectly. Yeah.
Much like, actually, I think much better when Great White was doing, oh my God, Since I've Been Loving. No, not Since I've Been Loving You. The acoustic song, because it's from MTV Unplugged. Babe, I'll Leave You.
Oh, yeah.
And he does a nice job, but I even think Mike is better than that version.
Yeah.
And that version is pretty much, Robert Plant territory.
I'm waiting for Greta Van Fleet to finally play a Zeppelin tune.
Do you think they will, or do you think they're just fighting it?
They should. They should. I mean, why not?
I think the accusation hurts them. I think that's why. But I think,
I don't think so.
I think because Never Kingdom Come.
Yes.
That accusation killed that band.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they would think that way, but I think they're like, look what happened to
that. I don't even think they had the popularity though as Greta Van Fleet. Kingdom Come. They had like
never,
one song.
And
that was it.
Was it no, it wasn't the Immigrant song. The Kashmir riff. Get It On.
Yes.
Get It On.
That's right.
Ripping off Kashmir. Not even in the same tuning.
Right.
It's just the same vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw an interview with Robert Plant, and the guy asked him about Greta Van Fleet.
No.
They said that they say that Aerosmith is their influence, and Robert Plant was just like, hey, okay, whatever.
Next question.
Yeah. All right. Wow. He's like, whatever.
Do you think why didn't that happen to Whitesnake with Still in the Night in Coverdale?
Well, I think isn't Coverdale and Jimmy, aren't they friends?
I think they were, or it took a while for him to warm up to him, because it even goes back to the album before Slide It In. Yeah. That has a Led Zeppelin vibe to it. And
yes. And then Coverdale did a album with Page.
It
was pretty good too. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it actually made a career.
Yeah.
For him. And he's another guy who could actually sing.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw them too. I saw them open up for Motley Crue also.
What version? Who were the guitar players?
Vandenberg. The lineup of the 80s.
Oh, Vinnie Campbell.
They opened up for what tour was it? The Dr. Feelgood tour.
Oh wow!
And they kicked Motley Crue's ass.
No, just guitar wise, guitar alone.
And they had like no stage at all.
They pushed them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And they kicked Motley Crue's ass.
I saw the version with Steve Vai in Vandenberg, and that was like, after I found out later, that was like not butting heads, because Vandenberg wrote the album, wrote all the guitar parts. Then he couldn't play, he had an injury. So Vi comes in, finishes the album, goes out on tour, and Coverdale's like, they're trying to stick it to each other. And I don't think Vi was. I think Vi is just Vi.
Yeah.
And I think Vandenberg is like, Adrian Vandenberg's the other guitar player, is looking at this, I'm good too. I don't think you're Steve Vai good though.
No, I don't think so.
But
Did you ever see when he was with David Lee Roth?
With Vi and
Billy Sheehan and Greg Bissonette.
I saw the Eat 'em and Smile tour.
Yeah. That was a good
That's when
show,
Tesla
man.
opened up for them. I saw that when Tesla opened up.
Oh man, I can't remember who opened up for him.
Because
It might have
I was a
been.
big Tesla.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. But yeah, that was Shy Boy. They would come out with Shy Boy.
Yeah.
And I never heard of Talus. Did you hear of Talus before Billy was in the band?
I did.
Because that's a Talus song.
I did. And then I just saw a video of Mr. Big.
Oh, okay.
A recent little bar show.
Oh, all right.
And they play one of those David Lee Roth songs that Billy Sheehan plays. It's a crazy song. Shy Boy, maybe?
Shy Boy's, well, that's Billy's song. That's Talus.
Okay.
Yeah, and Talus.
Yeah.
Nobody without Billy Sheehan.
Yeah, so
Like,
Mr. Big does that.
Man, yeah. God, man. Well, yeah, Paul Gilbert, so
Yeah.
you're not gonna miss too much on the guitar.
Yeah.
But there's some crazy shit on that guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then Greg Bissonette, I was just
I
happened
had
to...
no idea how good this guy was.
Oof, yeah.
I didn't know. Did you hear how he got the gig?
No.
He can read drum charts.
Yeah.
But he can read them like in different compositions. So Steve Vai wrote the chart. So another insane thing. And nobody could play it. So guys like Matt Sorm would have gotten the gig. They couldn't read what it was. Matt Sorm was, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just play drums.
Yeah.
Not like that. And Matt Sorm, I don't know if you've seen Guns or if you've seen The Cult with Matt in it. He's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
He can play. And they're like, no, you need somebody who can read. And Bissonette was like, kind of like, not only could I read, but I was taught by jazz guys. So when Eddie had his drummer a few episodes ago on, and they were talking about jazz teachers, and this is exactly what Bissonette was talking about. You have to learn to play everything, and then you have to learn to read, to play different tempos, and look at it once, and then play it.
Yeah.
And then you're judged on it. And this comes to fruition X amount of years later. Professionally, nobody's even heard of this guy.
Yeah.
But within the drum circles, he is like a major
monster.
But he's kind of balding.
Now,
and
yeah.
And he doesn't. He almost has a Gollum look from Lord of the. He's like, my precious. He does the rock star look, but whatever Vi put in front of him, he's like, bang.
Yeah.
And he's like, I guess we got to hire this guy, which is one hell of a way to get a gig.
I know, right?
Trial by fire.
And to play in front of Billy Sheehan and Steve Vai, I mean, that's got to be so intimidating.
Roth was never at any of these guys are going to hire the drummer.
Yeah. Roth is just the face.
Yeah.
Just get out there and sing.
Yeah, I'm going to ride a surfboard across the arena. You guys handle that.
And the surfboard, the boxing ring.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the boxing ring to the surfboard.
Yep.
From the back of the arena, up way up top, boxing ring. Then he got on the surfboard.
That was funny.
And then sang California
Girls
as he came over the crowd to the stage.
I thought that it made me campy, but I thought that was awesome.
He at one point he just stood on the stage by himself and said nothing and did nothing, and the crowd was going ape shit.
Spotlight on him, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Said nothing.
And I remember I'm at Syracuse War Memorial, so this is definitely Eat 'em and Smile. And he got whatever the segment where Sheehan and Vi go off, he walks out or he gets out to the mixing board, and you just see him sitting there and he just like, these are my guys. Like, almost if you could put a caption to it, if you want to think he's petty or jealous, he goes, sticking it to you, Eddie.
Oh yeah,
he's sticking it to you.
Well, he said during the concert, he says, what did he say? Something like, "How you like this band?" Not too shabby.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely had his point, and not to belabor the point or belabor the passing of Eddie, but do you have any difference of opinion that it was maybe Eddie that was kind of a problem within the band getting rid of all the singers that he did, and then inviting back the one guy that was his nemesis, only to have it happen again.
Well, just judging by interviews I've seen from everybody involved, either on stage or off stage, Eddie was the problem.
I think Eddie was the problem.
And
I think David wasn't going to have it.
Yeah.
I think that's the budding.
Well, they say it was the Alex and Eddie show. They ran the band, but they said Eddie was the pain in the ass.
And I think
very difficult.
I think he always ran the band, and then Roth took off.
Yeah.
The antics, there was no other lead singer that was doing with him. So the comparison I always heard of, I don't know the band very well, is they did a song which is from the 60s, Jim Dandy or Go Jim Dandy. I think it's Black Rock, Arkansas, or Black Oak, Arkansas, something like that. You know Tommy Aldridge?
Yeah, of course.
Tommy Aldridge was in this band. Right. And the lead singer of that guy was another guy with big blonde hair. And they said he was out of his mind. Yeah. He was just boozing on stage. They said David Lee Roth took his image, poignantly took his image, and then tried to add in the Ohio Players, an R&B band, and bring it into Van Halen. And they said that's how he got his. He got a boogie and the dancing thing, which, for me as a kid and then learning guitar, even as great as Eddie was, I leaned toward David. Yeah. I was like, this guy is like, man, you kind of want to be that guy. Mm-hmm. But you had the guy captain of the ship that was this, I mean, what can't you say about his guitar playing?
Well, you can't.
It was just magical.
You can't deny that he changed.
Changed the face of
Although, in was a Guitar Player magazine back in the day, Randy Rhoads was voted better guitar player than Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah. And do you believe that they had a real rivalry? Randy seems like the nicest guy in the world.
I've seen interviews with both of them actually, and I don't think so.
And Randy, the interviews I have, and again, Guitar Player and Guitar, big magazine, Guitar for the Practicing Musician, always had interviews saying, I hate tapping. Why am I having to do this? You have to do it because the audience expects it. Yeah. And he said he always hated it, but just the modes that he played, I think it's called harmonic minor, which is very kind of gothy or evil, whatever. It was his playing versus what Eddie was playing was kind of like California rock. Yeah, I don't think there was much other than they were giant guitar players, both from Southern California.
Oh yeah. So age-old question. Yep. For people our age, Sam or Dave?
Wow. For me, I mean, there's really not a debate. It has to be Dave, but I have so much respect for Sam. I have a lot of respect for. That's why I asked you about that. Do you think Eddie was a problem? Was not going to put up with it. I had a career, but if you really think about Sam's career was the Midwest. REO Speedwagon was competition for the Midwest, from East Coast to the West Coast. I guess you could say part of the West Coast. Sammy wasn't that big. Right. Sammy was big in the heartland, and people loved Sammy. And I didn't know any material until I Can't Drive 55 came out. And then I had to be, I don't know how much older before I found out about Montrose. I didn't know about Rock Candy or anything. I mean, knew zero about it. So you have to respect his resume. But I also, F you, I don't have to take this from you guys, whatever. And the reason I think Eddie was kind of crazy too, and I'm not a crazy Limp Bizkit fan. I love the first album. I love a couple songs. But the story is that he goes over Fred Durst's house and he brings, 5150 amps, I assume some guitars, and they were just going to see if we could put something together. And Eddie leaves, and for whatever reason, he leaves without the speakers or his equipment.
He doesn't need them.
Did one, but I guess they were his, and he was very possessive. And he tries to call Fred Durst, and Fred Durst blows him off. No, doesn't. Just no contact. And he shows up in a truck with a gun, knocks on the door, and said, "Where is my shit, motherfucker?" Whatever, like he jacked him. And Fred Durst is like, "Oh, it's over here," and he pulled a gun on him. According to Fred Durst, into his house, loaded up all by himself, loaded up all the equipment back up there, and just looked at him and basically said, "Fuck you," got in the car and left. You would think all the guitars and stuff had cases. Nope, he throws them in the back of the truck and takes off. And I was like, that's a sign of a lunatic.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a very wealthy man. You can negotiate things. You can get it done without it. But showed up with whatever gun it was, and he took his shit back.
Wow.
To me, it's heroic, but it's also like you're Eddie. Like you're not.
Yeah.
You're not a gangster, right?
No.
You're not in that.
No, you didn't come from Compton.
No, you're not a Compton guy. But I guess part of him was. We've had that conversation. He said, because they didn't speak English, he said his only friends were black kids. Yeah. And the black kids were picked on. It's the 60s. And, integration and wasn't having it. And then kids that couldn't speak English definitely got picked on. And so most of his friends were all black kids. So maybe he kind of was like a tough, Pasadena guy. I don't know.
Pasadena, Compton.
Pasadena,
Compton.
Anaheim.
Yeah, it's like Greenwich, Bridgeport. Bridgeport. All right. Yeah. All right, what do you say? We'll wrap it up. We just went 50 minutes with no script.
Nothing.
We just said, or we
we
talk
love
about Ed
music.
Sheeran and Mick Mars.
We love music.
Riff. Yeah.
So how about that?
So once again, thanks to Bill Walton.
Score!
I think he's gonna pop up on every episode.
I mean, when we get the youngest Melfi involved, maybe you can get a hoop jumping in or something. Score!
And we'll just like float his face.
Around. For no reason at all.
So thank you again.
So appreciate it, guys. Stick with us and watch the videos.
Yeah. If you like what you see, if you enjoy it, thumbs up, subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Yeah. Questions,
comments, ring the bell, get all the notifications that we're out there,
and please share us with other people.
We're a growing channel.
Yeah, we're getting there, and pretty soon we'll have a little backdrop. And when when Little Fee comes back from college, maybe we'll do like green screen.
Little Fee,
and we'll be at the beach.
Congratulations, Little Fee.
Yeah, he graduates on Saturday. I'm so proud of this kid,
awesome.
Man. Graduated with honors. He made the dean's list previously. Him and my daughter made it on the same semester, and their names were like together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Long live the Fees.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, Rod.
Thank you, guys.
Give it a line.
Guys, we as Ed has always said, we appreciate all of you, and the Brotherhood has spoken.
There it is. Peace.
Apple grease.
Apple grease.
Hey, do something there.